Hello, my name is Katharine Earnshaw, and I'm going to be giving you a brief presentation on the Fieldwork Research Network, which is held out of the University of Exeter. Fieldwork is testing collaborative research practice between classics and cultural geography and considers how classics texts can be mobilised for non-traditional questions. I'm the principal investigator, and the co-investigator is John Wiley in cultural geography. And if you get no further than this slide, then in a nutshell, this research network aims to advance understanding of how land use decisions reflect fundamentally ethical stances which are generated in part through texts, so literature, and embodied experience. So the key words that we're working with are ethics, narrative, and time. The network aims to explore and build narratives of agriculture. Ager in Latin just means field, hence the clever title, in such a way that brings classical reception and history of thought into dialogue with present political and geographical concerns regarding the cultural values and meanings of landscape. And it's worth noting just now that this project is being run in parallel with a follow-on project under the same scheme called Field Guides, and you can see a separate presentation on that project. So Fieldwork takes as its frame the archetypal feature of agricultural landscapes, the field. The network aims for a better understanding of the field as an iconic landscape form by formulating a methodological toolkit emerging from classics and cultural geography, and using this to interrogate understandings of cultural value in relation to narrative, time, and ethics. We're really interested in stimulating insight on the values of fields as venues for labouring, reflecting, and living. And our focus emerges from UK NEA's suggestion that arts and humanities can provide crucial complexification for cultural services by focusing on narratives. The network draws on a Latin philosophical didactic poem on agriculture, Virgil's Georgics. This text was formative in the history of British agriculture. And it uses it to consider how a classical framework of agricultural ethics has informed and could yet inform contemporary understandings of land stewardship. We're also drawing on embodied research and practice approaches to narrative and landscape interaction, developed in cultural geography and through some of the professional artists that we're working with. There are a number of interrelated key questions which will be explored by the network participants. The first, how can we develop more cross-disciplinary and temporally sensitive accounts of culture and heritage in the creation of landscape values? What are the roles of text and experience in the creation of agricultural ethics? How can textual and embodied research together uncover a more detailed perspective on cultural ecosystem services with respect to agricultural places? And how can social values in relation to agricultural landscapes be discovered together through art and practice? And for this final question, we're working with two Devon-based professional fine artists who will take part in workshops and produce artworks in response to some of the ideas that may emerge. Perhaps the key output of the research network is to assemble a unique grouping of expertise and insight with regard to fields and agricultural landscapes, with a specific focus on Devon. And we're working with a large number of academic and non-academic stakeholders, some of whom you can see here. There are a number of reasons why we're focusing on Devon. It's not only because Devon houses one of the largest UK agricultural economies, but also because North Devon's UNESCO designated Biosphere Reserve is the UK's only landscape pioneer within the 25-year Environment Plan. And we're also interested in the significance of the ancient Devon hedge banks and the way that they characterise the landscape here. In terms of the structure of the network, the events are focused around 3 core workshops, which have been slightly delayed now thanks to COVID. For these, we're interested in creating dialogue between decision makers and stakeholders and other parties, such as academics. We're working with 2 professional artists, as I say, and these will be particularly focused on exploring the role of social values and community decision making. We'll be presenting an exhibition stand at the Devon County Show, which is the main agricultural show in the calendar. And there we're seeking the opportunity to engage with agricultural workers as well as the general public. We're planning 2 articles, and we're also setting up a project website, though this is being enhanced and extended in the follow-on funding project field guides. So I think that summarises most of the key points, but if you have any questions, then please do feel free to contact me via the Exeter website. Thank you.